Everyone take their seats, please. Can everyone join me in the pledge? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's do a roll call, please. Welcoming our County Executive to present the 2016 budget, please.
Good evening, Chairman Kubicki, Vice Chairwoman Brunig, members of the County Board, elected officials, distinguished guests, and fellow citizens of Kenosha County. I just wanted to talk a little bit about county government tonight. And I want to talk about how we saw Supervisor Grady and his bride on the bike path when about 50 people biked by on the last fall wheel ride. And we had about 1,500 people at Kemper Center last Saturday at Oktoberfest. We have Wi-Fi on at Silver Lake now. We had 3,000 to 4,000 people out at Paddock Lake for the great Oktoberfest they've had there, another free event that the public got to go to, see their neighbors, see their friends, leave their woes behind, and enjoy county resources. And of course, who can forget the Elverman Farm, where the CCC camp was there and created Fox River Park. And I'll bet you over half of the people in this room had comments by their neighbors or friends about they knew someone in the CCC or somebody in their family was in the CCC, where they used hand tools to create that park and set stone. And now people are enjoying the soccer fields and football scrimmages for practice and the disc golf, and it's the park is jammed all the time. And those are the good times, because life is hard, and that's where people go sometimes, and we give them that opportunity in quality places. And when things get into a way where maybe it's too tough and them, their family, and their friends can't do it for themselves, that's where county government comes in. We do those things they can't do together. So it's my pleasure to present to you tonight the 2016 Kenosha County budget and all the various things we know it does, but what's in store for this year. The budget before you tonight permits us to meet jobs. Let me be very clear, jobs are still the #1 issue on people's minds. Kenosha County market today continues to be the red-hot industrial development market. We lead not only the area, the region, and the Midwest, but almost the nation in economic development. We are the envy of every county in Wisconsin. None of us in this room are surprised that Kenosha County is the place where people in business want to be. Some of this is because of the work we do right here. Strategic planning we do every day and continue to do part as this budget. But this budget hasn't come before you without challenges. On the state and federal level, legislative and policy changes have had real dollar and programmatic impacts for Kenosha County. Among the other wild cards are still unknown for the state-approved testing for income maintenance recipients if it gets federal approval, and the potential unfunded costs of bringing 17-year-old first-time offenders that are nonviolent back to the juvenile justice system. While the public policy may have very strong merits, the legislation does not address the costs to counties, which I will tell you will be very significant. We have or will absorb those impacts to meet those legislative challenges head on and comply with those mandates given to us by the federal and state government. But you need to know some of the backdrop of some of the things that have occurred. And now that you've seen those, we'll see how the federal pressures have affected our county. Let me tell you and explain with you what the budget includes tonight. This budget limits the increase for operations to 1.3%, with 2/3 of that going for law enforcement. This budget puts more money into mental health. As you are aware, our costs have been erratic after local emergency hospitalization options were drastically reduced. We will, however, be proactive and implement some new practices. Starting in 2016, we will work more collaboratively with Sheriff Dave Beth and his department, Racine County, our attorneys, the judicial system, the county's health division, and the human services department, and several contracted agencies to provide proven mental health treatment options to those who need it at a workable and reasonable price point. This budget moves that forward. This is in addition to the study that's going on, because there's going to be a multi-pronged attack to get this under control. This budget also provides for the startup of a new collaborative initiative, a collective impact model that helps communities improve educational outcomes with a cradle to career initiative. This would be one of the partners, along with the private sector, who will supply funding, along with the Kenosha Unified School District, to work with students strategically to set them toward a productive career path. This budget continues to aggressively pursue road projects that keep us ahead of the infrastructure curve and not chasing that like others. We'll do our annual paving and keep our highways in top condition. This budget provides funds for the High Impact Fund with our partners, Kenosha Area Business Alliance. We will continue to bring to you in this budget cost-effective opportunities for improving our downtown footprint in our Civic Center campus. It makes sense to continue to be tactical in our approach and address our long-term space needs here downtown. With your support, we address the deferred maintenance that long overlooked the exterior of the county courthouse. It is now beautiful. If you didn't look at it coming in, look at it going out when it was lit. With this project, we begin the process of doing renovation to courtrooms. We plan to renovate one courtroom at a time. The first one is in this budget. This budget also provides for an initial planning project to provide adequate space for our countywide emergency operations center. It's now tucked into the corner of the underground parking structure of the public safety building. I know many of you have been in there, and there is absolutely no cell phone reception. We currently do not have the appropriate space or infrastructure to meet the needs of the county or participating municipalities during emergencies. This is a public safety issue. Part of that project will include relocating the medical examiner's offices from the job center and the morgue that are currently at the Kenosha Hospital to the public safety building on the second floor. I would like to, and I think we all would like to thank United Hospital System for assisting us when we desperately needed to move the Brookside building or the morgue out of the old behemoth Brookside building. We can improve the critical chain of evidence by putting all the ME services under one roof. Spring of 2016 will be the groundbreaking for the Brookside Care Center, the additions and the renovations. Thank you for your continued support on that project. which will ensure the stability of our county nursing home for generations to come. The bids are going out in November. These infrastructure improvements, as well as the others you've supported in the past, will continue to enhance our quality of place. This budget also provides for additional public safety and redundancy safeguards, backup generators for the PSC, for the Public Safety Building and the Human Services Building, completion of the Public Safety Software Project, the county's portion of the critical hardware upgrades for the Joint Services 911 system. In addition to continuing to address infrastructure, we make investments in our employees. This budget continues to address succession planning, staff retention, and quality recruitment efforts. We have many, many awesome employees. They seek excellence, and it shows. Here's one recent example. The Kenosha County Ceridian Implementation Team received the 2015 Customer Success Award for its work transitioning from a legacy mainframe payroll processing system to a single, easy-to-use application for human resources. Yeah, give them a hand. All of our 24/7 operations are now using automated scheduling systems software, which allows them to manage their staffing a lot more efficient. Both of these systems will allow us real-time access to information, which will create many more efficiencies countywide. This budget holds our workforce insurance costs flat again, with some adjustments to the plan. Work continues on the market study for the correction staff, and this budget allows for a market-based classification and compensation study for the rest of our staff starting in January. This, again, is a critical process to retain and attract employees. Compensation and benefits are no doubt a key component for recruitment and retainment, but just as critical, studies show, is training for effective management. We need to continue to foster an organization culture that people will want to be a part of, and one that will inspire and encourage more effective work environments at every level of our operations. This budget provides for strong leadership and supervisory training programs. Our IT division, which constantly seeks to lead the way and consistently leads the way in innovation and county services, will launch an internship program with the various colleges in the area with a modest amount of money. This will provide meaningful work for opportunities for students and critical skills to prepare them for the workforce, and if they're really good, maybe they'll stay on. We'll hire them someday. Innovation continues to be a building block of a lot of what county does, not only here but across the nation, to achieve efficiencies in government. As in prior years, the 2016 budget will include strategic investments in technology. While prior years focused on core infrastructure, the servers, routers, switches, and key business applications such as consolidated health, tax billing, and land information, the 2016 budget is focused in two areas. Focus 1. We are ready to undertake the replacement of the key financial systems that help run the county. The key financial system, also referred to as the Enterprise Resource Progress has been made to scan or destroy over 300 bankers' boxes of records that are no longer cluttering the shelves. If you've been in the DA's office, besides Terry, you would know it was wall-to-wall bankers' boxes. It was unbelievable. The goal is to continue expanding the scope into other areas of the county where there are a number of projects are identified. I'm confident IT will continue to deliver the exceptional service to our county as it has demonstrated in the past. This budget limits the increase for operations to 1.3%, with 2/3 of that going to law enforcement. This budget lowers the tax rate from $5.14 to $5.12 per $1,000 of valuation on a home at $100,000. That's a decrease of the total tax bill for county purposes of $1.31. FYI, if the city of Kenosha retired its 3 oldest TIFs from 1979, 1989, and 1994, the tax rate would drop 9 cents per thousand, or about $9 on that $100,000 home. Hopefully the city will put some of those TIFs back on the tax rolls. This budget addresses the state and federal changes that have come our way and continues some of the most cost-effective and efficient ways to perform our statutory and federally mandated services. And our message has stayed clear. Kenosha County is a place where businesses want to be and people want to live. And it's because we continue to make the important infrastructure investments that assist to attract private sector jobs. We strive for excellence by investing in our employees to ensure we're attracting and returning. Safeguards our continued vibrant future. I want to thank all of you on the county board for all you do, and may God bless Kenosha County.
We'll have the handing out of the books, I see. While this process is going on, I want to simply make a few points. I want to thank the county executive for presenting a great. I also want to thank his staff, all our department heads, all our employees for continuing to make Kenosha County a great place to work, live, and play. That's all I have. I'm going to move on to supervisor reports. Oh, sorry. Citizen comments. Citizen comments is open. Citizen comments. Citizen comments. Citizen comments is closed. Now we'll move on to supervisor reports. Supervisor Alverman, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be very brief, just a couple highlights from our past month and from our meeting last evening. I'll start with golf. Dan told us last evening that we had the best September that we've had since he's been here, 2009. Weather was fantastic. The reviews for the course continue to be high. We still have the problem that I mentioned with the beverage director. We're working on that, trying to figure out a way for retention for employees. But the golf courses are, if we continue October, this way in great shape this summer. As the county executive said, the Brookside project is on schedule. We should have construction level documents ready for mid-November. And I will be sharing those. Our committee will be seeing those. We'll be sharing those with the county board before the bids go out. The house at Brookside, our demolition, if you've seen next door here, how the parking lot is going, that house is down. The parking lot here should be ready by mid-October. They put the first lift of asphalt on. There's some lighting to be done, some landscaping, but it's, if you notice, and I noticed for the first time this evening, the limestone pillars to match this building, and the flagpoles went up today. It's really a nice addition. Parks, Mr. Rudy continues to keep us in the forefront as far as our county park system. As Mr. Kreuser said, we had a wonderful dedication at Fox River Park for the CCC camp employees, and I was able to attend the Pringle Oktoberfest, which was really a beautiful day, a little bit cool, and I got to see Jenny Tunkett's in a band that day. Or did she leave here? But she was part of the entertainment. And Pringle continues to be one of our little jewels in our park system. The funny thing about some of these reports that we give is that you don't know where they're going to go. And I remember last month I mentioned our little problem with the state on some funding for work they wanted us to do on state roads. And apparently, I think it was Mr. Kreuser said at a meeting I had with him last week that apparently the state people read the Kenosha News too, because we were having trouble getting that meeting set up, and they called us right after that. And with negotiations with our administration and with our highway people, apparently we've got that all worked out. So we're okay for this year. So that's all I have this evening.
Thank you, sir. Move on to Supervisor Gentz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At our last meeting, I had mentioned that I would be having a report on where we are with the public safety software. So at this time, I'd like to turn the floor over to the Director of Joint Services, Tom Genthner, and our project manager to give you a quick update on where we are with the public safety software project.
All right. Good evening, folks.
Good evening. Tom Genthner, Kenosha Joint Services. This is Mark Roush. He is the project manager for the software implementation project. We're moving along. It's quite a project. We're having some great cooperation among all the agencies that are involved in all of this. It's obviously a multi-jurisdictional implementation. We have a technical governance committee, an oversight committee that's overseeing this implementation. There are members of the Sheriff's Department, County IT, Joint Services, City Police, City Fire, City IT, all of us get together. We are essentially the committee guiding this, making the major decisions. As I said, there's a great deal of cooperation here, and it's very easy to work with all of these ladies and gentlemen. We have a go-live date. It is June 20th, 2016. It's pretty much right on schedule. From the time that we finished contract negotiations, which was in February, we were looking at 12 to 18 months. So we're looking at like 10 months. It may move beyond June. I have some fine-tuning after that, but June 20th is the go-live date. And we're also in the midst of several different build sessions. Several of them are going on today. This week we have build sessions for CAD, which is the dispatch system, for the record system. We're also going to be doing a demonstration for the jail administration, and part of the build will be taking place on that on Thursday this week. So there's a great bit of activity going on. I'd be happy to answer any questions as to where it's going. Mark can highlight the finances of the project, and I will have him do so.
Thank you, Tom. Short summation. Tom alluded to the length of the project. The project started roughly when I came on board in September of 14. It's going to continue through 2016, but the budget has remained static or fixed, and we're currently tracking within budget or to budget in the various phases or sub-projects. So a lot of numbers to discuss, but I won't take up your valuable time with all those numbers. So If you have some specific questions, I could answer them, but that's all I've got. Tom took most of my thunder, so.
Well, I see no questions, folks. Thank you for that report, and if anything new comes up, feel free to work with your chairman there to bring the information forward to this board. I appreciate it.
We do give a scope, budget, and timeline to the Joint Services Board every month, so
Okay,
if the supervisors want that, they can sure have it. So,
very good. Thank you, sir.
thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, if anybody, if I could just continue with the floor for a few
You have the
seconds.
floor, sir.
If any supervisors want to actually go on site and take a look at what we're doing and some of the build-outs and some of the things that are happening, just call Tom and you could see it's quite a remarkable feat that's going on over there. So if anybody has further questions or wants any more information or wants an actual tour or anything, feel free to contact either myself or Tom. Thank you.
Thank you. Move on to Supervisor Esposito. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would just like to invite any supervisor that has any questions or concerns about the budget at the Law Enforcement Committee, which is next Wednesday. We will have our budget meeting. Along with that, we are going to have an in-depth discussion about the overtime in the Sheriff's Department. So any supervisors that have any questions or concerns with that, I encourage you to attend. Thank you.
Thank you for that announcement, sir. Oops, move on to Supervisor Grady. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just an announcement. I'll be part of a tour that'll be conducted of the Kenosha County Detention Center. That'll happen the 16th of this month, 10:30 in the morning. Sheriff's representatives have agreed to have a few Carthage students attend the tour. That was their request that they be allowed to do so. That is being set up, and I think there is space. If anyone who's not seen the detention center would like to see it, we could arrange to have you be a part of that tour, so please speak to me after the meeting. On a note, just has to do with the budgetary process for highways, parks, public works, and golf. We'll be having our budgetary meeting to discuss that the 19th of this month. That's a Monday, and I believe that's at, is that 6:30, Dennis? It'll be at 6:30 in that room. Very well, so you're invited to attend that as well if you have an interest. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Seeing no other lights, County Clerk.
Claims, 13, Matthew Verdeveer, broken windshield.
Refer to Corporation Council.
14, Heather Bendel, vehicle damage.
Refer to Corporation Council.
Summons and complaint, 15, Travis Williams versus David G. Beth, at violation of civil rights.
Refer to Corporation Council.
Approval of the September 15th, 2015 minutes by Supervisor Ron Frederick.
Move to approve.
Been moved to approve by Supervisor Ron Frederick, seconded by Supervisor Dodge. All those in favor?
I need to make a motion to amend the minutes as printed.
What is your amendment?
Second. We were talking about adjourning the meeting. Look at it, it says it was moved by Supervisor Rose to global. Change the word global to adjourn. And I so move.
All those in favor of the spell check by Supervisor Dodge? All those opposed? All right, we'll put it in for the record. Going back to Supervisor Ronald Frederick, he had made a motion for the approval of the minutes with the correction.
I have no problem with that.
Thank you, sir. Do you still second that now that it's corrected there, Supervisor Dodge? Do we have an all in favor? All opposed? Okay. We'll move on for adjournment. Is there anyone to give me adjournment tonight?
I like a guy that reads.
Been moved by Supervisor Esposito for adjournment, seconded by Supervisor Rose. All those in favor say aye. Thank you.
Rick.
Boy.
Supervisor Dodge.